sync from your school information system has been completed, we can now configure your school users. Now, teachers will automatically appear once that subject mapping has been complete. Under the configuration menu, by selecting school users, we'll bring up the list of school users for your school. It will show their first name, last name, see their school they're associated with, their email. It'll also show the number of classes that each user is linked to. For example, Justine Herman is linked to 2 classes. And when we hover over the 2 classes, we will see she's linked to the 2 Year 6 classes. So it will show which classes a teacher is linked to. It will also show the permission set for each user on the platform. And this determines their level of access to various features in the platform. For example, what can they do in the marketplace and in My Assessments? If you'd like to add an additional user, you can do this by clicking on the box at the top right-hand corner of the screen to manually add those users. This is useful for non-teaching staff or a principal who is not automatically associated with a class when the sync occurs between your system and the platform. So within a school, there are 4 different levels of user permissions that provide various levels of access. Admin are for school administrators and leaders who need to be able to configure the system and access the analysis for their school. So this means setting up any parameters required for that analysis to occur. They can also see aggregated data from across the school system or network where applicable. A user is for teachers and other users who just need to be able to complete marks books and view the analysis for their school. A leader is school staff who don't need any permissions in terms of administration, but want to be able to see the marks books across the school for a given year group or subject. And leader admin permission is a leader who also is given admin permissions for certain subjects and or year groups. Leaders are given admin permissions via a switch under the edit option for every user, where admin permissions can be turned on. All users will be required to be invited to the platform. This is done by the school administrator of the platform and simply done by clicking on the 3 dots next to each user's name if you would like to invite them individually. There is also the option to invite all at once using the buttons at the top right, and also at the top right is a button to invite new school users that have been added to the platform once a sync has occurred. Under the 3 dots for each user is also where school administrators can edit a user's permissions, so change them perhaps from a user to an admin or a leader, and also deauthorize them if they are no longer perhaps part of the school or no longer want them to have access to the platform. If you would like to adjust the level of permissions for a user, you can click on the 3 dots next to that user's name under Actions and click on Edit. This will bring up the information for that school user. Under the permissions, you can change them between a leader, an admin, and a user. If they lead a particular subject, this is where you can select that subject. They will have further access to all those marks books for that subject. And if they lead a particular year group, select those year groups so that user will have access to all the marks books for that year group. At the bottom of the edit options is that toggle switch to allow for additional admin permissions. Don't forget to press save to save the changes you have made.